Hello again, it's Laurel with the Dabbling hook. This is my second time recording this, or starting this, because as soon as I started, and I got like 2 minutes in, and of course the battery was flashing. Anyway, how are you guys doing? It is Tuesday, April 28th at 5:27. End of the day, yay! Let's see, what have I been working on? I am trying to do what I said I would do, which is make stuff, account for it, tag it, and of course Father Minion is just coming in, so I'm probably gonna have to pause. Darn it. Anyway, so what have I done? Let's see if I can get at least a couple done. I made another classic cow. This is my third and fourth. This is pattern from Madeline Mako, and this is in Bernat Blanket. Did I show this one already? I do not recall. If I did, as usual, oops, let me close my work computer. Okay, this is in Blanket, the newer formula, and the snout and the horns are in the old formula. Actually, this brown is not Blanket. It's typically, oh, that's a lot of fluff. It's basically Bernat Blanket, but I got it off Amazon because of Kim, Crafty Nomad, to give it a try. So it's kind of a cross between the older, spongier blanket yarn and the newer one. It's not as thick and sturdy as the old one, but it's not as soft and light as the new one. Kind of in between. But I didn't have good browns in my stash, so I tried this out, and it came in a 4-pack. So that is Classic Cow. I did not stuff the legs, or I just stuffed the bottom part of the legs, the body and the head. I didn't put stuffing anywhere else, so nice and floppy. That's number one. And then I just finished this one. Ooh. Wonder if that rolling sound came through. It's Father Minion bringing in the trash. This is in Soho Mystical. That skinny chenille that I bought a ton of. Trying to use it up. I held a triple. And then this is the Sundown color from Parfait Chunky. It's like a deep teal color. It's lovely. It's like jewelry toned. And it's very soft. I like holding it double, and it's very soft. But yeah, the Mystical held triple, the Parfait held double. I used a K-hook on the Mystical, and I had to go down to an I-hook to get the Parfait to come out to size. The air came out a little bigger in this colorway. I'm gonna pause while he comes in. Okay, he's in. You might hear, you will hear life noises. So, and this is the sand color. I keep calling it baby sand. I think it's baby sand, or sand colorway of the Bernat Blanket. And this is the Bernat Blanket in the tabby colorway. I love this colorway. Do love it, love it. I'd shown the chicken I made out of that and some cats. So, 2 of those down, and then this. Get your foot out of the way. This is poorly made. This is, I'm pretty sure this is Bonnie the Bunny Snuggler. But I came across this on Pinterest, and it led me to a site where this was written out. And while I was reading it, I'm like, it said that there were sections where when the text colors changed, and it's you have to do it in the contrast color. Well, the site did not have the color change at all, so led me to think that it is the Bonnie pattern that's actually been redistributed, stolen. And yes, I ended up still making it, but without the color change, and the instructions called for a 7mm hook, I believe, way bigger, 7 and 8, and I don't like stuffing showing, and it would have shown through. So I think I used a 6mm for the head, and my face shaping is not the best, especially since I couldn't do the eye shaping because I used a safety eye, and I haven't figured out how to do that. Not safety eye. I embroidered, and I haven't figured out how to get the face shaping to look right when I embroider. Plus, the head came out a little conical, like a cone, so this is not sitting very well on there, so not the best. Somebody might find it interesting, but beware out there on the Pinterest streets of what you find. So, yeah, I didn't need another snuggler thing, but I wanted to include bunnies and spring-like stuff in my craft fair next month, so I figured I'd give it a try, but oh well. So, that's that. I'm late to the game. I have been meaning to make one. I even bought a pattern that came in a 3-pack, and I haven't made this, but this was off of Amigurumi Today. A free pattern on there, and it's done in like skinny yarns with it's a 2mm crochet hook, and yeah, we weren't doing that, so of course I used blanket yarn, and I used the old blanket, which is the thicker one, so it came out to be a good size, and this came out, feels like it came out way bigger. Yeah, it wasn't too bad making everything else, but doing this is not my favorite, because you make the 2 pieces, then you have to crochet them together, and then put all the stitching, which I didn't do such a great job on there, but you know, at first glance you can see it. So I made the free one. I'm gonna have to do the patterns because I bought the pattern to make it, so I will have to check out to see how that is. But Amigurumi Today, free, and it literally comes out to, like, in the picture, looks like this big that she's holding it, so mine is way bigger than that. So, baby Demogorgon, however you say it. I have another chicken, my big chicken. This one is very big. It's definitely bigger than the last one I showed, because I think I used a, did I use a 5.5mm hook on the last one? When I used the, this yarn, the tabby, I can't remember because it's way softer. This is like a kind of in between. It's not as stiff as the old Bernat, but kind of in between. But it's definitely bigger. I used a 6 on this, so I must have used a 5.5 on the other one. But yeah, that's that. So pretty big size on that one. And then lastly, you can see they have their tags on them already because I had already put them away. But I used black yarn for something. I was using it for something, and I had it in a cake, left over in a cake, and I decided to use it up. It's not the best quality black yarn. It's Bernat blanket, but it looks very like a distressed terry cloth robe, this skein. So I made cats out of it. I think I have this much left of what I had before. I think I had like almost 3/4 of a cake, and I can't remember what I used it for, but anyway. First one I made, I think, was this one, I don't remember, but because it's black, I gave it the glitter backing eyes. So I gotta rollerball it because it's got all the fluffs, and you can see it on the black yarn. So there's that one. Then this one came out bigger. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I used a 5.5 and a 6mm hook on them. This one has the gold glitter backing. So that, and then this one, I bought these cat eyes. I think They might have been called dragon eyes or something, but it's like the, I'm gonna show, it kind of has the slit, so it's very cat eyes like. Like this is just a round one, but this one has the vertical slit on this. I thought it would be perfect for that. And I bought some of that flocked safety nose. So I figured I would try them together, see how they work out. And I was trying my hand at adding different color. I wanted the tuxedo with just the color here, and I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up just doing the ears in the same color. So he's a weird looking one, but he has pink glitter backing. So yeah, those are my makes for right now, and that's Father Minion making noise. I think that's it for now. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, I forgot to say for my chicken, I still have to put wings on her. So the big ones, I definitely put the wings on. Gives it more realistic look to it. So I still need to do those. Hey, it's Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? Different vantage point from the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 clips maybe that I've recorded. You know, I'd apologize for it, but it is what it is. I record when I get the chance, but it is Friday the 1st, May 1st. Whew. Graduation's tomorrow, so getting ready for that. I'm pulling fluff. Never see it until I'm ready to record. And it's lunchtime right now, so I'm doing taking a quick break, a me break. Lunchtime, but a me break. And just to show some of the things that I've, excuse me, finished this past week. I have a bag full of all the stuff I've already shown, and those really bad orientation clips. But I think I showed this one before. I do not recall, but I'm showing it again. I probably didn't. I don't know. If I did, I'm showing it again. It's a market bag. It is the Bob Wilson 123, or she'll forever be Bob Wilson 123 in my head. But Crochet with Claire is what she is now, or what her name is now, or her channel name. Her name is Claire. It's her market bag, Rose. Hey Rose of Rose Likes Crochet. Let's see. I forget what I was going to say. And wait a minute, is it Rose Likes Crochet or Rose Loves Crochet? Loves, right? Wow. Menopause brain. It's Rose's channel. And you guys know who I'm talking about. More fluff. She makes a lot of these market bags. I've always wanted to make one, but I never got around to it. And I've been using, now that I think about it, I think I did show you guys, but I've been reusing an old cocoon shrug that I started making. And it's been sitting there forever because I ran out of the yarn I started with, and I tried to find adequate yarn to replace it. It didn't work, blah, blah, blah. It's been there for like years. So I finally pulled it apart. It's more or less pulled apart. There's a little, I think the main center square is still there. But reused the yarn to make a market bag. And it's a solid granny, but it has, the corners has, you know, the chain too, so you have that gap. And I didn't want that on the bottom of the bag, so I made it a very solid granny on the bottom. Like all solid on the bottom. And then you can see these holes would have normally been on the bottom, and I didn't want that. So it's solid on the bottom. And that's pretty much it. And then I kept going till I thought it was tall enough, and I made the handles thicker than she did in the tutorial, and that's always up to you how thick you want it to be. And what I always do when I make bags, I like to go back around with a slip stitch around the edges, and I also went around, reattached the yarn, and went around the inside of it and did the slip stitch. It's going to stretch anyway, but this will, you know, the slip stitch only goes so far, so it will not make it stretch as much. So That's one of the things I like to do, especially when I make bags, or if I want something to not stretch as much. So there's that. This yarn has been sitting around for years, literally. I don't know why I decided to do the cocoon shrug, because I don't like when you seam it together how it kind of cups under the rear. So there's that, if I hadn't shown it to you, and again if I did show it to you before. Alright, I had shown this chicken in one of the clips, and I had it pretty much done, except it was missing the wings, I think. So I added the wings, and I like to edge the wings because I do it in the same color just to give it something extra to stand out. So I pulled this color out of there and did it. So I think this is the almond colorway, or I don't remember, but anyway, there it is. Jumbo chicken. So that's done. Oh, and the comb is it's a tropical colorway, I think, but it's mystical. And then obviously regular burnout blanket. Again, trying to use up as much of a skein of yarn as possible so I don't end up with scraps or so much scraps. So I'd mentioned that you know, I have my 2 octos, and I wanted to do one that had that more realistic shape, but I wanted it to have baubles, and I still haven't figured out how I want it, because what I did the first couple of times, it's like top heavy or it's bottom heavy, whatever. It didn't work quite as well as I wanted it, but I've seen the realistic style. And I did one by somebody off YouTube, and I do not remember, it was a tutorial. I don't remember. It's in one of the clips. So I'm like, oh, it's pretty much kind of half of what I wanted to do, so I just did my own thing with this one. And the one I followed the tutorial, I did 2 of them, and I ended up modifying it because I wanted the back of hers was more standing up straight, and I wanted it to tilt a little, so I modified the back a little. So I pretty much just did my own thing. The eyes, I think I want it a little closer, but then I think when you look at the octopuses, the eyes are more on the side, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, but you can see the eyes from the side. So, but yeah. Using up that yarn for the chicken. That yarn I used in the chicken. I made some, I think a couple loaf cats out of that. So there's this, and then there was just a little bit left, and I was able to do a little octo. I had to pull out the legs or the tentacles about 3 times, 4 times. On the 4th try I got it. I had to change up what I did a little. Less stitches. I changed the stitches eventually to half double crochets. So I was able to use up all the yarn, and I literally had like this much yarn left when I weaved in the last of it. This much. So total yarn chicken win. And again, I am using up some what do you call it? Sparkly backings. So that's what this one has. It's a light green color, chartreusey green color on that one, so I'll have to. All right, pigs. I made 2. This one is a chubby pig pattern. It's an Instagram pattern. Do I remember who it's by? No, and I don't have my phone with me, so I can't look. But this, I made this a few times last year. I think they all sold. I'm pretty sure they all sold. But I made one in regular pink, and then one in like a really hot pink, which was, I think, the Stash Goals type yarn that I was trying to use up. That was a really bad skein, so I was trying to use it up. But yeah. So this is it's called a chubby pig. I'm pretty sure it's off Instagram. But there it is. The tail, I think they wanted you to do it separately and sew it on, and you know, if I can figure out a way around that, I will. And it's just, you don't really have to. If you remember, you can just do it as you're doing the final rounds, or I actually made it, and I'm like, I don't feel like sewing on, so I just took it apart, surfaced on, and then did it from there. Super easy, no biggie. But yeah, and it lined up pretty much just where it needed to for me. I mean, it's spiral, so there'll always be that little off-centerness about it, but yeah, it pretty much lined up. Did a little face shaping. I don't remember if the pattern called for that. I don't know if this one did, but I did a little face shaping because it was just too bulbous or round over here. And then for the snout area, usually when you have to go into the back loop, when you come around to that last and first stitch, is always that jog. So I started like doing those first couple of rounds as what do you call it, slip stitch rounds, like I joined rounds before I move on. That way you don't have that little separation or the divot or whatever, so it's really hard to see on that. That's one of the things that bug me, the little things that bug me. So I join the first couple of rounds to get past this, and then after that I just do in the spiral. So I like it. I like this one. It's pretty simple. It's easy enough to go down your yarn size if you want something smaller where you don't have to futz with the pattern. If you want it a little chubbier, you can take out a couple of rounds here to make it not as long, but spot on. Recommend. It'll be, in the link, in the document link of who it is, because I can't remember who, even though I've done it about, this is the 4th time, I think. So, and then this is the 2nd time I'm doing this one. I think the first one I did it in blue because that's the yarn I had at the time, and I was just trying it for the first time. This is the Jelly Bean Pig. Darling Maple Designs. She has a whole line of makes that she calls Jelly Bean something or other, but this is the 2nd time I'm making the pig, and I think the reason the pig hasn't sold it because it's in blue and it looks maybe odd to people, but what was I gonna say? If it didn't sell last year, I might still have it. It might be the only pig I still have in stock, but I made it again. It's almost like, whoops, it's almost like a splooter before the splooting thing became popular right now, but hers has been out there for a bit. I want to make it again in like a brighter pink color. This pink is very very sedate, very understated, and I look at it and I don't get the ooh, excitement looking at it. It's just so oh. But anyway, the snout is demi pearl in, I forget what color, seed pearl is the color, I'm not sure, or blanc, whatever it's called, but it's the beigey off-white color. And I went down, I used the 5mm on it too, so it really, even though it's thicker, fluffier, the 5mm made it stay in line with the gauge of the rest of this. And I used 5mm on, did I use a 5mm on this? No. Did I? No, I used a 6mm, but I went down to a 5mm for the snout to make it not as big, because this one, the demi pearl, is a bit bigger than the Bernat blanket. So yeah, pretty easy. Oh, and it's all it's very low sew. The only thing you have to sew on is the ears. You have to make the ears and sew those on, and you make it ahead of time. And I think if you can finagle it and figure out where, well, it tells you where what row it's going to be in, so I think you can easily crochet those in as you go along. But sewing it wasn't so bad. So, and in the picture the ears are like down like that, but I definitely want it in a brighter pink color. So yeah. And then the other one I made, the first one I made, is definitely small. It's almost like a little more than half the size of this. So pretty good size. Right, a couple more. These did okay for me. I think I made 3 last year and they sold pretty quickly. This is Frogbert by Oak and Marlow, I think. Is it Oak and Marlow? It's either Oak and Marlow or what's the pop-up person? What's her name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It'll be down below. But I made 2 Frogberts. I had half a skein of this blanket yarn. I forget what I used it for, but I needed, again, trying to use up those partial skeins and everything. So I'm just not left with stuff hanging around. So I got 2 Frogberts out of it, and I have like maybe a little bit of, I finger wound, I made it like a butterfly little skein out of it. So I have, it's about like yay big of yarn left. But this one, the arm was sticking out so much because you make it in the round. One arm tends to face that way, and then, you know, because this one's going that way and you do it the same, the other one kind of goes this way. So I kind of tacked it down a little. This one I didn't, so you can kind of see like it's just hanging out. And because it's on the spiral, one looks a little higher than the other, so I decided to see if I can tack it down if it looked any better, and I do like it better than this. But then this looks like he's doing something with his hand. So this one in the pattern, it shows it with the bow, and then the bow, she has it like she's holding it on the top, you know, if you want to go like a girly bow in the hair, and this is the bow as a tie. So I didn't like it up there, so I just made a flower out of, this is some leftover mandala ombre excuse me, from one of my knitted shawls that I'm doing. Wow, I didn't think it's been 20 minutes that I've been talking. Jesus. But yeah, that is Frogbert. Looks very serious with this mouth. This is just some blanket yarn I use, so I just used some worsted to try to give it more of a smile. I try to make this one a little girlier with the eyelashes, but it could be whatever. It's got a flower and a bow. Frogbert. Pretty easy enough pattern. And you could easily make this without stuffing the legs, and it'll make it more floppy, or don't stuff it as much. Actually, you don't stuff the legs. You don't. This yarn is just really thick, so it's, yeah, very floppy. Like it. It's made bottom up, so basically there's no sew at all. Yeah, not much to say. This is the second time I'm making these, and I think this is the 5th or 6th one that I've made. So Frogbert. And lastly, for now, I am working on a dragon, another dragon right now, but I am almost done working on the wings, and then I have to do the details. But Diddy Decks, which I love, handmade by Jody, is that who it's by? But you guys all know Diddy Decks, love it. I have modified it a bit. I modified it a bit to give another increased row to the head, so I end up with at least 2 extra rows in the rounds in the head. This time though, instead of starting it with the chain like the pattern has, I just did it with the circle. So I didn't want to futz with the chain, to be honest, is what it was. So I just started with the circle. Not a huge difference. I guess the line, you don't see that, like, you know, sometimes the circle goes off to the side, depends on your tension and everything, and this one does. It's kind of facing to the side, but you know, who's gonna know except us other crocheters? Just looks like a dragon. So that's one thing I did different. It's the second. First, I added extra increase in rounds to the head, and then I started with the magic circle instead of the chain. For the ears, instead of making that little ear and sewing it, I added the ears as I was going. So what did I do? I chained, I forget how many. I did a bobble, and then I single crocheted back down and kept going. And I did that. I had to rip out once or twice just to get it as aligned as possible. I think I could have been like at least 1 stitch up maybe, but again, doesn't really matter. And then I was going to do the horns. The horns I do with bobbles because I am not doing that tiny little cone to do the horn and then having to sew it on. No. And I've done the horns in different ways, but I was going to do it as I went along and I forgot, but I just surfaced on the horns in that dark chocolate. It's like a rosy reddish chocolate color from the Just Chenille. I love that colorway. So I did that. And for the wings, what did I do for the wings? I used the wings from another tutorial. Did I? Did I use it from another tutorial? I did, because her wings are in the back loop only, and I don't think I do it that way. But, or maybe it's hers and I just modified the size of it. But that's the wings. And then I have not read that fourth wing book or whatever, but I had another dragon in this colorway or all yellow, and somebody was asking me last year if it was from fourth wing, and I'm like, it could be if you want it to be. So I figured I try to have at least one in this colorway, and I love this colorway. This is the burnt mustard colorway. It's like a sweet potato-y, pumpkin-y color. Love. So two of my love colors in there. And what else? Oh, starting with the 4 chain. The 4 in the, no. If only if it's absolutely necessary will I do that, but I cannot with the 4. It physically hurts my hand. So I start with 5 and move on. And the other thing is the feet for the pattern. I use the feet from another pattern, and that other pattern is very similar to this pattern. I will say, I won't say who it's from, but it's very similar to this pattern. But their feet, it's similar, but I like the way they do theirs better, so I just use that. And I crochet it in as I go instead of sewing. So I had to sew on the head and the wings and surface on this. Everything else was one piece or as you go, crocheted in. So I like that. But I really do adore this pattern. You can, if you know what you're doing, you can easily adjust it to suit your needs. But I love it. Can you tell I love Diddy Decks? I do. And I love these 2 colors. I'm making another dragon new pattern I just bought. I'm not supposed to be buying patterns, but I bought this one because I love dragons. Foxes and dragons I love making. I do. And I'm not a cat person, but I love the Echo cat. The conundrum, that's me. But I'm using the Stash Goals in the mustardy color as well, similar to this, but I love this color. And I love dragons. So there's that. I love it. Oh, and more, this is the kawaii offset eyes, but more glitter backings that I have in stash that I'm trying to use. And this is I think 18mm eyes that I used. So I love it. I think I need to make one of these just for me. Maybe in this colorway. Oh, anyway, that's all for now. Next one will probably be back to my desk in that small frame, but I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey again. I'm back. Same day. It's almost the end of the day, but I just finished this little cutie dragons. I mentioned I like dragons, right? I love dragons. I don't even know why. I just love them. But I just finished this one. This is a new pattern by Nooks Hooks. She has this hooded bear pattern that I'm not gonna buy because I bought a different bear pattern in a bonnet that I've shown before, so I'm not gonna buy that one, even though I'm tempted. But anyway, I wanted this dragon because it reminds me of the dragon I tested for Chiwe of, oh my gosh, what is her? Oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking on her handle. Rose makes her jellyfish all the time. One Dog Wolf, that's who it is. Anyway, looks very similar, and I've seen other similar type patterns before, but I love how this one is constructed. Chiwe's pattern, I don't think she's ever released it. It is not a mindless pattern. It is not a intuitive pattern. It's a pattern for somebody who wants a challenge, a construction challenge. It taxes the brain. But I don't think she's released that pattern because I haven't seen it. I did go back and check and I haven't seen it. But anyway, this one is very similar. It doesn't have legs though, whereas the other one does. But it's so adorable. And I saw where Hooks Nooks, I don't remember her first name, she, on one of her videos, YouTube videos, she made a whole bunch of them. But I wanted to give it a try because I love dragons, but it's so cute. Kind of reminds me how small this came out of the little fox that I like, but still. Look. And it's completely no-sew. From snout to tail, wings, it's completely no-sew. So it is absolutely beautiful. This is Stash Goals. It's a little washed out because of the lighting, but and it does not glide on the hook. It drags on the hook so bad, but I love the color. So again, the previous thing I showed was the brunette blanket in burnt mustard. This is a gold color, very similar to it, but this is more on the gold side. And I used the Dollar Tree chocolate brown on there, and the horns are, it's just brunette blanket in black. But look at it, look at the wings. I wasn't sure about the construction of the wings because it doesn't, like, you know, stick up or anything, but because it's sleeping, it's almost like it's a blanket on, you know, it's surrounding it like a blanket. Oh, it's just so adorable, and I'm so tempted to start another one, but I've got a lot of things to do right now, getting ready for tomorrow's graduation. But I want to do another one. So cute. I have to go to my yarn stash and at least pull out some. I want one in a brighter springy color, but oh, it's so cute. And of course, the brunette blanket's going to be a lot bigger, but oh my goodness, and it's no-sew. The construction from the head to the body and the body to the tail, love it, love it, love it. I love when you learn something new with these things, but oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. I almost don't want to part with it. Okay, that's it. I'm going. Bye.